Zakir ji, again, the amount of respect he gives all the artists, including youngsters like me, is a masterclass in itself. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I did not have love for music, right? I had a relevant degree, I was in the middle of Silicon Valley.
He traded the Silicon Valley for Sargams. He traded code for Khayal. We have with us none other than Mahesh Kale, and we have met him for a quick chat as he is on his tour of Abhangwari. What does Abhangwari mean to you, and how did the whole tour come into action?
So, Abhangavari is the word in itself means it's actually Abhang and Vari. Abhang has two meanings. One, something that is unbroken or unhindered, and the poems that are written by the saints of Maharashtra in the in the respect or reverence of the deity Pandurang or Vitthal is also called an Abhang. Vari is actually the pilgrimage that walks from all different parts of Maharashtra, also some from outside of Maharashtra, towards Pandharpur. Those pilgrimages are called Wari, and the pilgrims are called Varkari. So for hundreds of years, these Varkaris have been walking towards Pandharpur in an unbroken way every single year.
Okay.
There is a lot of people that want to but cannot go there. So Abhangavari is a concert in the hope that everyone that is not able to go physically can be transported through the narration and the songs to Pandharpur.
If somebody was not, who's new to this idea and the concept, what would you ask them to listen first?
Just come. See, nobody is new to the concept of emotion.
Yeah.
Nobody is new to the concept of worship.
The devotion.
And when I say worship, it does not necessarily mean even the God or religion or faith. Worship, if you love someone, you worship them. If you are in absolute admiration of something, you kind of end up worshipping them. So, surrender and worship are two things that are very close to each other. If you have one of the two or both, then I think you don't need to worry about anything.
Did you always have this in you even when you were in the Silicon Valley and you were an engineer and all of that? Because that transformation when you gave up that life for completely coming into music, did you always have worship and devotion and love for music?
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I did not have love for music, right? I had a relevant degree. I was in the middle of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Possibility, very high possibility of a seemingly lucrative career. But I realized that the joy that you can get from simple things every day cannot be bought.
Yeah.
And if I can just get it, then I don't need the lucrative career. So, yes, I've always had it in me. And it was slightly tricky to make that call because I was trying to swim against the currents. But it felt right. And I've been ever so grateful.
From Stanford Jazz and then Abhangs again, very devotional sort of music. How do you balance that while also, expressing yourself?
See, it's just that every human being has different moods, no?
Yeah.
I mean, when it rains, you want to have adrak wali chai.
Yes.
When it's hot, you want nimu pani.
Yes.
So then we don't need to balance it. It's kind of something that churns itself inside you, and you only respond to those things.
Yeah.
Because I'm always high on life. I love to live. I love to meet people. I love to observe cultures. I love nature. And when I do all of these things, because of my travel, I end up doing all of that very frequently. It does something to me on the inside. And then my music is just a reflection of letting out whatever I feel in.
So you've been trained in the Gurukul system. So how do you, keep that discipline in you still, like even now?
See, I think discipline is a matter of practice. There's a saying which says if you want your work to be done, give it to the busiest man. Because when they're busy, they're used to handling their work in discipline.
Yeah.
So, discipline is something that you have to have. I think it is the number one quality if musical skill
Yeah.
was number two. So, it is a discipline that I've grown up with. It is a discipline that I've practiced for long hours, for decades of my life. So, it has kind of become an instinct for me. So, I don't have to think, just like you don't have to think when you breathe.
Yeah.
uh, I end up, my subconscious mind ends up taking over and enforcing its own discipline. So it's not something that I have to do anymore.
What is that, one misconception that people have about Indian classical music?
And it's boring, probably because you don't like it enough.
Yeah, or maybe they don't understand it enough.
You don't need to understand. You don't understand the chemical compositions of any fragrances, do
Yeah.
you? When you start eating Italian food, it tastes very bland. But then once you get used to it, you actually are able to appreciate the subtlety of the spices,
Yeah.
the subtlety of the different sauces that they have, the little bit of oregano that they crush
It's
in,
the flavors
the
actually.
flavors. And the subtle flavors actually are so invigorating inside
Yeah.
that you don't need spices.
So if somebody who has not heard an abhang before, how would you describe it in one line?
Abhang is probably a very intensely coded form of semi-classically music. It's like वो गोली होती है आप खाओगे और फूकती है. Abhang is like that. It is the kind of the abhangs that I sing are based on Indian classical music, but they are not tied down by the rules of ragas.
Yeah.
So they have the best of the ragas, they use the best of the ragas, and they just launch
Create more,
themselves
yeah.
into a very exalting state. If you look at it, the pilgrims actually end up walking a distance of about 2 to 300 kilometers in a matter of 15 days. Many of them don't have chappals, they just walk like that. And you would think that they'll be tired, which they are, but they continuously sing these abhangs as they are walking. So it's obvious to deduce that the abhangs give them the energy instead of spending the energy. So it is that form of music that feeds your soul with a lot of energy. That is what it is to me.
So you've worked with giants like Zakir ji and Aruna ji. So is there this very distinct memory that you always keep very close to your heart?
There are several. Arunamma is full of energy again. She's very, her presence is very disarming. Being who she is, she's very friendly, she's very encouraging. Uh, we had a phone call before the collaboration. She was sure to put me at ease. When we met as of course she's an elder, but we met as friends, musical friends, and everything else just flowed in. The rehearsal was very unique. In our break, we did sing Aja Aja Mein Hu Pyar Zera with Trilog Kaka playing. There was a big band. It was a funny thing.
Lovely.
Although we were presenting something that was classical, so she's been very inspiring in a very easy demeanor. Zakir ji, again, the amount of respect he gives all the artists, including youngsters like me, is a masterclass in itself. I remember one incident. He was part of this band called Planet Drum, which I think was Grammy nominated or won the Grammy
Yeah.
award. And we went to meet him. He fetched us backstage. And then he took me around, introduced me to Mickey Hart, the drummer from
Yeah.
Grateful Dead. He said, Mickey, meet my friend. This is a very fine Indian classical music. This is 15 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, one, I get to stand with the god of rhythm. And then I get to be introduced as a fine vocalist. And you know what it does? It boosts your morale. It
Yeah.
encourages you to do the best that you can. There are several instances, especially with Zakir, because he also spent a lot of time in the Bay Area where
Yeah.
I am based out of. So I had a lot of chances to interact with him through his simplicity, his astute observations. Of course, I don't even want to comment about his craft or his
Yes.
proficiency to the craft. He ends up revealing a bunch of different things that are worth learning and imbibing.
If you could, give one Abhang to our watchers and listeners right now, what would that be?
Right now, I'm thinking of Vrukshavalli Amha Soyari Vanachari. Pakshini Susware Aravidi. What it actually means is all these plants and shrubs and animals and birds are our companions. And I'll tell you what it means. See, we only end up indulging. Matlab, we want to plant trees because we want shadow, or we want to eat the fruit, or we want to pluck the flowers. We only have pets if you're a meat eater to eat them, if you're not to make sure that you have a guard dog.
Yeah.
But you are actually living your life, and in a very subtle way sharing your life with everything that exists and is around you. They give you shade, hence you are away from the heat. They give you food, hence you're alive. They give you love, that's why you feel some peace sometimes. And such a profound philosophy from a saint who was not formally educated is just amazing to me.
That's lovely. If you could sing a bit of it for us.
It's actually Lata Didi's song.
Okay.
Vrukshavalli ama soyari vanachari. Vrukshavalli ama soyari vanachari.
That's lovely. Thank you so much, Mahesh ji, for joining us on the Indulge podcast. For more such videos and for more such interesting chats, subscribe to our YouTube channel.